Hello everyone, Waxo here, and welcome to the Waxo Report for the week of January 25th through the 29th. This week was another busy one with quite a few stories to talk about, ranging from multimedia projects, a nostalgic blast from the past, and the resurfacing of a game that went dark quite some time ago. So without further ado, let's hop into this week's Waxo Report. I'll start off by briefly talking about what I've been playing lately, which is Tarsier Studios' Little Nightmares. For the past couple reports, I've been mentioning that I'm working on a video for this game, and I'm happy to announce that it will be done and uploaded this upcoming Monday. Essentially, I'll be addressing how unaware of its popularity I was, and my own thoughts on it for those who also missed out on its massive following. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that, plus another project that is still sort of in the early works, but will be coming sooner rather than later. Alright, enough about Little Nightmares in the channel. Let's talk about the news for the week. This year's nominees have finally been revealed for the upcoming 24th Annual DICE Awards, and it's looking like a great year for Sony as they averaged 3 games in various categories. Leading the charge in total nominations is The Last of Us Part 2 with 11 nominations including Outstanding Achievement in Animation, Art Direction, Audio Design, Story, Game of the Year, and quite a few others. This sets the divisive but critically acclaimed sequel to the 2013 hit in good position to take the record for most wins at the awards, with previous holder being Remedy's Control. Other major hits with high chances of winning include Sucker Punch's summer hit Ghost of Tsushima with 10 nominations, and early access turned indie phenomena Hades with 8. For those who want to see just who wins what, be sure to tune into the awards when they take place virtually on April 8th. Scavenger Studios, developer of short-lived Battle Royale Darwin Project, an upcoming PS5 exclusive season, has indefinitely suspended co-founder Simon Darvaux for allegations of sexual harassment that have recently surfaced. In an article from GameIndustry.biz, various current and ex-employees have come forward on how they've had to deal with the toxic and sexist workplace that stretched all the way to Darvaux, who is the company's CEO. Complaints have included inappropriate remarks about women's clothing, as well as a remark about how the main character in their upcoming title season can't play the guitar because it would be deemed unrealistic since guitar is too complicated for women to learn, as well as various other incredibly inappropriate comments made at female employees. This is particularly disheartening because their upcoming game season seems to be a celebration of diversity and inclusion rather than the toxic reflection of their workspace, which seems to be dampened by sexual harassment and treating women in the workplace very horribly. An investigation is currently underway at the company and will hopefully be resolved in a way that sees those affected by these terrible actions some peace of mind. For those of you who want to read the whole article to see just what's going on over at Scavengers, I'll link it down in the bio below. In lighter, less upsetting news, G4, the premier gaming news network that used to air on television years ago, is back. On the 29th, the Rebirth Network announced that they will be streaming and uploading on Twitch and YouTube B4G4, a series consisting of sketches, reviews, and parodies every Friday all the way up to the official return this summer. When the network does officially return, it will do so with 2 of their old flagship series, the game review and news-centric X-Play, and the pop culture and tech-centric Attack of the Show, after both series had ended about 8 years ago. I am incredibly excited by this news, as G4 was the network that really piqued my interest in gaming journalism, news, and generally fueled my interest in the industry as a whole. Hopefully the revival of the network more than half a decade later can do the same for a new generation of gamers. Like I said earlier, this was a pretty busy week for news, as there just seemed to be back-to-back announcements of future plans for upcoming major releases. Starting off, we had 343 announce that they will be doing monthly updates for Halo Infinite, the latest entry in the almost 20-year-old franchise. After being pushed to holiday this year after unfavorable responses from fans, 343 recently mentioned that the game is now finished and the rest of the year will be spent polishing Infinite so that they can deliver an experience fans deserve. And the first update, which are titled Inside Infinite, covers the Sandbox team, who are the creatives behind the gameplay experience. In this update, they talk about how they are adhering to the combat doctrine of Halo, making sure that they honor old fans of the franchise as well as new, and the approach approach to the sandbox experience that is the main campaign. Having been a Halo fan for just about all 20 years of it being around, and both loving and hating 343's attempts at the franchise, I'm certainly looking forward to the monthly updates as they start rolling out. Halo Infinite is set to release later this year as a Microsoft exclusive. On the 28th, Crystal Dynamics announced that they were working on the next Tomb Raider game, but have no major announcements on the matter in the near future. What they have offered is that the upcoming game is set to be the bridge between the Origin trilogy that wrapped almost 3 years ago and the original games from Core Design. It was also announced that Netflix will be making a Tomb Raider anime that recounts the events of the Origin trilogy, which is interesting to say the least. Anyone who's followed my channel for some time knows that I'm a fan of the Origin trilogy, as it's my most watched video so far. So hearing news that Crystal is developing another game to bridge the gap between the two eras, even if it's years out, is pretty exciting for me and others who really like those games. If you haven't played them for yourself or are new to the channel, definitely check out my video if you want to hear my own impressions. Biomutant, a game announced way back in 2017 from THQ Nordic and Experiment 101 and went dark for years, has resurfaced with a release date for May 25th. Made by ex-Avalanche members, the people behind the popular and chaotically fun Just Cause series. The game puts you in the role of a customizable player character in a world of mutated animals and had been described as post-apocalyptic kung fu fable by a German magazine Game Markt. And honestly, that description alone is enough to sell me. It's currently aimed to launch on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, but I have no doubt that it'll make its way onto next-gen consoles in the near future. Again, those are brief tidbits on all of those stories. If you want more info, I will include links to each of those stories down in the bio below. It truly was a busy week, and to talk at length about each of those would probably triple the length of this video. Yet another delay has come forth in the early weeks of 2021, this time in the form of PS5 exclusive Returnal. The upcoming sci-fi shooter roguelike from developer Housemarque was announced during Sony's PS5 showcase last summer and was originally slated for March 19th and will now be releasing April 30th. April's starting to look like a rather diverse month, as it also has People Can Fly's looter shooter Outriders, the Civilization like 4X Humankind, and the modern remake of Pokemon Snap. For games that are set to drop rather soon, we have Control Ultimate Edition for Xbox Series and PS5. The Ultimate Edition includes the base game along with all DLC, including the newest that branches into Remedy's classic Alan Wake. Along with Control comes PS5 exclusive Destruction All-Stars, a vehicular combat, multiplayer-centric game that pits teams against one another in a demo derby. But even after your car is destroyed, you can maneuver around the stadium, avoiding enemies and parkour-based gameplay. And even greater news for PlayStation fans, both of these titles will be available for free via PS Plus once they drop. Sony and PC fans can further rejoice as the Neo Collection will be arriving on the 5th. Team Ninja's Soulsborne was a hit for those who were fans of the From Software-inspired series when they originally released on the PS4 in 2017 and 2020 respectively, with the former selling a respectable 3 million copies. The collection is a next-gen port of these games and will showcase the power of the PS5, supporting 4K at 120 frames on the console. Previous owners of the games will also be able to receive a free upgrade so that they can enjoy this next-gen port. On the 4th we get Werewolf, the Apocalypse Earthblood. Set in the universe of cult classic tabletop Vampire the Masquerade, the game explores werewolf tribes whose differing opinions are leading to infighting amongst themselves. It follows the player character who's on a mission to stop an evil corporation from harming nature since werewolves are the guardians of the natural world. This is the first of 2 Vampire the Masquerade games set to release this year, the other being the long-awaited sequel to 2004 hit Bloodlines. Alright, that wraps up this week's Waxo Report. It was certainly a surprisingly busy one with news coming from just about all over the industry. But honestly, if news keeps up like this, we may be in for one very exciting year in gaming, as we're starting to really get into the first year of a new console generation. It's exciting to see it all unfold, and I'm very much looking forward to the upcoming weeks in terms of news. But before I head out, I just want to give a small promo and shout out to my friend and fellow content creator Haku Sonato, whose podcast I guest appear on every Thursday night. He's a variety streamer and occasional YouTuber, so if you're looking for new people to get into, definitely go check him out. I'll include his links down in the bio below. Again, thanks for continuing watching the reports, and until next time, take it easy.